This presentation analyzes the dominant ideas shaping mainstream sustainable development, focusing on market environmentalism and ecological modernization. In chapters 5 and 6 of Green Development, William Adams explains that mainstream sustainable development does not question development itself. Instead, it seeks to manage environmental problems in ways that preserve economic growth and existing power structures. Adams shows that mainstream sustainable development relies on two major frameworks. Market environmentalism uses markets to govern nature, while ecological modernization emphasizes technology and institutional reform. Both are designed to fit comfortably within capitalist economies. Adams says sustainability is framed as achievable through reform rather than transformation. In her 2005 article, Karen Backer defines market environmentalism as an approach that treats environmental harm as a problem of incorrect pricing. The solution, she explains, is to turn ecological processes into economic assets that can be traded and managed through markets. She says market environmentalism seeks to internalize environmental costs through market mechanisms. Backer's central critique is that commodifying nature creates contradictions. Ecological systems are complex and socially embedded, so market mechanisms often fail or produce new inequities rather than delivering durable environmental protection. Nature is an uncooperative commodity, says Backer, that resists full commodification. Authors Moll and Spargren described ecological modernization as theory, explaining how industrial societies absorb environmental concerns. Rather than rejecting capitalism, it assumes capitalism can be restructured through cleaner technologies and institutional reform. Moll and his colleagues emphasize that ecological modernization gains traction because it fits existing incentives. Firms can improve environmental performance while pursuing efficiency, innovation, and growth. They say environmental reform becomes compatible with economic and technological development. The assigned videos reinforce the logic of mainstream sustainable development. They emphasize measurement, efficiency, and green growth, reinforcing the idea that sustainability can be achieved through better management rather than structural change. In their article, Is Green Growth Possible?, Hickel and Callis distinguish between relative and absolute decoupling. They show that slowing environmental damage is not enough. Total resource use must decline. Hickel and Callis conclude that green growth is not supported by empirical evidence. The scale of reductions required to meet climate and ecological targets is incompatible with the continued economic growth. Adams explains that corporations become central actors in mainstream sustainable development. However, Hickel and Callis show that growth imperatives systemically counteract environmental improvements, creating structural contradictions. Carbon markets exemplify market environmentalism in practice. As Backer's frameworks predicts, commodifying pollution often shifts responsibility instead of addressing underlying causes. The literature points towards solutions that go beyond mainstream sustainable development. Absolute limits, regulatory frameworks, and reduced reliance on market substitutions are necessary for a credible sustainability. In conclusion, mainstream sustainable development has expanded environmental action, but its core frameworks remain constrained by growth-oriented capitalism. The evidence suggests that sustainability requires a deeper structural change. Here's all my sources. Thank you for your time.